Hey, what's up, TF reviewers? It's Moose coming at you with a Studio Series 86 Leader Class Grimlock and Autobot Wheelie. This is actually my first attempt at being a Transformers reviewer. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I thought, what better way to kick off my inaugural attempt at doing what I love than to start with my all-time absolute favorite Transformer. And that would be Grimlock. I mean, no disrespect to Wheelie, but, you know, he's not Grimlock. I'm sorry. But yeah, this hands down is one of the single greatest Transformers I've ever had the pleasure of owning. Not just the best version of Grimlock, in my opinion, but just an overall amazing piece of plastic. I just love this thing. And it's easily on par with some of the greats. I mean, it's so dang close to a masterpiece Grimlock, especially in the way that it transforms. It's just awesome. I love it. A couple of things. The wings, a tad loose, but that's just debatable. I mean, you're not really planning on moving around much anyway. I mean, I don't see Grimlock flailing too much in combat unless he's going up against like a Devastator or something. But that's entirely up to you. He does not come with his sword. That is my biggest gripe. He needs to have his sword. They never came out with like any accessory pack for it or anything like that. So very disappointed. But I do have this little beauty from the Fall of Cybertron Voyager Grimlock that fits well enough in his hand, so that's a good little substitute. Looks fantastic, gives it a bit of flavor. He's not just entirely G1 all the time. The blaster looks absolutely incredible. Nice big chunky chunk. It can actually store on his back if you clip this little clip bit onto the arm, dinosaur mode. And kind of just holster it on his back right there. Completely badass. Get in there. There you go. Okay. Blast effects compatible with the blaster, but I didn't find any other ports on his body, so I don't anticipate. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera there. Sorry. One thing about me you'll find is that I randomly make random noises. Yeah. They're a little too close to put two of these things on there. I get these when you buy a Slither Fang from, what was it, Earthrise. Yeah, they have them at Ollie's right now for like $4 a pop, so I've just been stockpiling just for the blast effects. But it looks fantastic on this gun. Wheelie, easily the worst part of this set. He was just kind of like a little afterthought accessory. He pegs onto the shoulder from this little, he pegs on right there, this little peg hole right there on the peg on his inner thigh. This is it. This is all he does. He doesn't have any joints. He just has ball and socket joints on the hips and on the shoulders. Head is on a ball and socket joint, but that's about it. No elbow movement. His slingshot is removable, and I believe that is the same size as a core class. So you can, if you wanted to give your core class Optimus a slingshot, I don't see how that would really help Optimus, but there you go. Posability is non-existent for Wheelie. He can kind of just do this where he looks like he's just pelvic thrusting, but you can't stand him up. And if you do try to stand him up, he looks like he's just, well, use your imagination there. There is only one pose other than using a slingshot that the boy can do, and honestly, for Wheelie, I think it fits. Dab on him. I'm sorry, please don't. Yeah. Sorry, I want to gain subscribers, not lose them. Okay, so now that we had the obligatory cringe moment out of the way, let's get to the bulk of this video, the boy himself. Move the weapons. Posability is, yes, he looks like he's this brick of a man, but he's got excellent posability, good strong ratchety joints, elbow movement, hip swivel, head swivel. He can't really look up, but he can look down. There's really not too many things that are going to be taller than him. I mean, you can make him look up from his transformation, but yeah, you don't want to break his neck. The wings on his back can kind of tuck in at any given angle, so if you want to have him look like he's got wings, there you go. Or if you want to just kind of condense them, fold them back to where facing front just doesn't look like he has anything, you can do that too. His legs are very tight, strong, ratchety joints, ankle tilt. You can pose this guy any which way you want. He's fantastic. I love him. Before I get into the transformation, I'll go ahead and do some size comparisons. Here he is next to Earthrise Voyager class Optimus. Standard Voyager size at the moment. Here he is next to his good buddy Cup, listening to some war stories. And just because, you know, poor cliff jumper barely comes up to his knee. I mean, this guy is a unit. He is so massive. He is a proper sized Grimlock. He's just so big. Past Grimlock figures we've gotten over the last 10 years have just not really met up to expectations for me size-wise. This guy hits the mark. I have nothing bad to say about this figure. I really don't. So we're going to go ahead and get into the transformation. Like I said, if anyone's had the Masterpiece Grimlock, transforming this guy will be almost instinctive. He's 80% the same transformation-wise. And it's not a difficult transformation. It feels natural for a Grimlock toy. It's great. So we're going to go ahead and move the arms into leg mode. Just flip the hands in. Just straighten them out. Flip the hands in. And when you flip the hands in, you can actually kind of bend the... See, this is how they bend for his elbows. And then you can bend them this way for his knees in Dino mode. For the tail, and take his legs and open them up from the back. Take the feet and collapse the ankle. Move this tip of the tail down straight and then up. And then the whole assembly, we're going to move down. It follows this track here on the leg. Going to flip the whole heel up and around. And then connect the legs together. And then bring it around and close. I have to reconnect the whole assembly once everything's closed together. Big chunky boy, look at him. Okay, then you're gonna come up, take from the torso, just pull the whole torso assembly down. I might need to straighten up the legs a bit. Yep. Bring the whole torso down. And that doesn't really snap into anything, that just kind of sets loosely for now. You're going to take the head, flip it down out of the way, lift the wings up and around the body. And before you close it shut, lift the head up and clasp that around the neck piece. And then pose as desired. And there you have Mecha Godzilla, leader class Grimlock in Dino mode. Wow, I just love this guy. He's big, chunky, proper grumpy boy. His tail is so massive that posing him is not as easy as you think. Like, he's easier to pose if you have the knees straight, but he's still kind of difficult. Like, pose him down like you would like a classic. Like, if you're careful, you can pose him just the right way, but typically you'll pose him with his tail touching the ground, like most familiar Grimlocks. Posability otherwise is kind of interesting. These heel bits right here, they have a tendency to lift up. So if you're trying to use this as support, don't bank on it. Your best bet is just to kind of Godzilla pose him with his tail on the ground. His arms don't have the most posability, but they do have ball and socket joints. They have elbow swivel. Head does not turn, but it goes up and down. Just about that far. Mouth opens. And there is a blast effect port in the mouth. So if you have a smaller blast effect, or a thinner blast effect, then you can give him his telltale fire breath. Look at that. No, you know what? That ain't big enough. This is Grimlock we're talking here. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. So in Dino mode, here he is next to Cup again. Still trying to get those war stories off them. Here he is next to Prime. He's even hunched over, he's still about eye level with Optimus. And back to the deluxe cliff jumper. He's about stomach height right now. And just because I have to, I don't have to. I'm lying. I just wanted to see it happen. I have to do the Bayverse serve me or die. No. 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 Nope. He doesn't like that. Nope. Defiant to the end. Honestly, I think if G1 Grimlock was issued the same death threat that the movie Grimlock was issued, he'd laugh and kill Optimus. And as an added bonus, I have him side by side with the Masterpiece Grimlock. Now, size-wise, he's a much smaller dino, but in bot mode, he's very close. But overall, I think these are both fantastic figures. I really do. It's a little off camera. Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah. Honestly, you could take your pick between the two, and they would both be equally incredible additions to any collection. The accuracy and the detail of the Studio Series line is fantastic to me. It's easily been my favorite Transformers line as of late, and I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on Studio Series 86. Not exclusively Studio Series 86, but I'm going to start with that and then work my way up to other things. Just pretty much whatever I get my hands on, I'm gonna try to review it. I've been collecting Transformers for a while, so I already have a lot of material planned. But oh, one more thing. We do have, almost forgot that this guy still exists. We have Wheelie still. Now he's supposed to be able to peg onto Grimlock and sit on him by pegging his heel. There's a little hole right here on either one of his legs, and you're supposed to be able to peg it onto this little tab right here on Grimlock. But I've never really been able to do that. It's been a little awkward. I'm gonna try to do it now. So, position. This is awkward. Yeah, it's not an easy pose. He's too wide. Yeah. So I can't figure out how to really do it, so I just kind of fudge it and hope for the best. Yeah. I think that's just good enough. That's just about as good as you're gonna get it. Just kind of set him there. But even so, that's still pretty cute that they would include that. You know, for as annoying as I think people found Wheelie, I think the like boy and his dog relationship between him and Grimlock was absolutely adorable. But that's just my opinion. As always, it will only just be my opinion. Everything I say is open to interpretation and argument. I will just spew out what I think and hope for agreement. But one thing is for certain, I will preach that this is the best Grimlock that I've ever seen. That has been Studio Series 86, Leader Class Grimlock. Moose out.